I am fed up with the sciences. I'll do something else. Well, this is a statement that you don't get to listen on a regular basis. But it is exactly what a brave girl did when she actually was fed up with the science subject. Well, sometimes we do make mistakes, and as teenagers especially, we seldom make decisions rationally. But making mistakes is not wrong at all. It is our nature. Not realizing that you have made a mistake may become a problem. The best you can do is make amends. Find your mistakes and make amends. Just like that is the story of Ankita, who, like the rest of the wannabe engineers, took up on the non medical stream, went to coaching classes, and gave the JEE exam. But just when the time to choose for college arrived, she made amends and took the course in journalism and mass communication, which is exactly what her passion demanded. From then on, she is just unstoppable and is living her dream life. Guys, I'll let you on a secret. I'm super nervous right now. You know why that is? It's because I'm going to take an interview of someone who has herself taken several interviews of some of the super famous people of the world. Wish me luck, huh? Keeping the journalism aside, she has proactively been a member of a couple of organizations, one of which is an NGO. And with her great insights, she has always provided a different approach in different situations to get to the end result. I can't even begin to describe her enthusiasm and energy with which she has passionately done things people only wish to do. I would like to welcome Ankita Sharma on the podcast Edge of Teenage. And on this episode, we will get to know the story behind the sudden change in career and her experience of interviewing famous people from a whole different nation, among other things. So let's just dive into the conversation with the guest herself. Hi Ankita, how's it going?
Hi Ashutosh, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. If you'd like to add something that I missed about yourself, go ahead. The platform is all yours.
Oh my God, no Ashutosh, but I'm just really grateful for all the words you used for me, like brave, fed up with sciences, and all these, beautiful words you used for me. Thank you so much for that. And rest, all the things will be covered up in the conversation that follows. Thank you, Ashutosh.
Okay, we will start from the very beginning, okay? Tell us about your school life and your time before non medical came into the scene.
Oh, so Ashutosh, coming to school life. It was pretty normal. It was like any other normal school going girl. I must say I was a very studious student, and I'm still very studious. I've always been into books, and I'm quite a nerd, to be very honest. But my interest in books is just more than was always more than the academic syllabus. Ever since I was a kid, my father used to bring me books of all sorts, be it those thick novels or those, pretty thin, those Archie's comics. And there I have books from world history to the geography of Earth. My interest was always in social sciences and English. But come what may, I'm not just a nerd who is limited to books. I have seen the world beyond it too. I've been very active at extracurricular activities in my schools as well. I'm an excellent orator. I have been at MUNs, and I have also represented my school at a national level cultural festival. I'm a very good orator, and more than that, I'm a sports person. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo martial arts. I hold 3 gold medals at national level. And sports has been a very important part of my life. It's as important as books. Like for 6 years, I have done martial arts, and what sports brings in your character is definitely something very important. Sportsmanship, patience, perseverance, endurance, all that physical effort you have to put in each and every day to polish yourself. I think sports and studies have been two very important things of my life before class 10th.
Oh my god, you are a full package. This is so great, right? But you told us about that you had interest in social studies and English. So what made you opt for science? Tell us the reason.
Okay, so Ashutosh, you missed a word I said in the conversation. I was a studious girl. So basically, yeah, I started, acing my classes since class 7th and class 8th, and in 9th and 10th, in every other subject, I used to top. I'm not bragging, but it is a fact, right? And Ashutosh, come on, now let's see the pattern in our country. What do teachers tell a student who tops in every test? Take science, because
Yeah.
and their intention is also pretty good, because you are very good at studies, so you can crack IIT JEE or NEET, get into a good college. When you get into a good college, you'll automatically be placed among the best people to get into the best companies, to get the best package, and to go to US, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, those sweet, bitter plans of these teachers, I swear. So yeah, I opted non-medical because of because of a reason that I was very good at mathematics. To be very honest, I love mathematics, and I just love it, right? And in class eighth, I started wondering what will I do. Now, I always had science in my mind because this very thinking was ingrained in my head because of the teachers, right? And the surroundings as well. But I was like, I cannot leave creativity behind. Creativity was a very major thing in my life. It was that streak in me that I never wanted to leave. And as time passed, I realized I'm not very smart. My creativity cannot be really shown in sciences by innovation. No, I'm not that person. I hate machines, please. So I realized,
Okay.
okay, so maybe let's just take architecture. Why? Because this has maths and this has creativity. So okay, my dreams are satisfied, and so I thought to take arts first. But then again, my teachers were like, "No, you take non-medical, you take non-medical," and then teachers were like that, and I really respect my teachers. So yeah, it was because of that I took non-medical, and this is where a very big lesson of my life started.
Definitely. But if all of it was going fine, then why did you had a change of mind? Or what incident made you realize that this is not what I want to continue with?
Oh, Ashutosh, what an incident! There are so many of them. Oh my God. So I basically joined an institute for IIT JEE preparation. My major goal was JEE paper 2, which is basically for architecture. I wanted to go in a very good architecture college and be the best architect of my country, and then after that I would want to go to the US. Right? US dream is very permanent.
Yeah.
So what happened was, so after 3 months into coaching, basically their main focus was engineering. They don't really care about architecture. They don't really care about creativity. They just want to fill you with they just want to give you notes, take tests regularly, and they don't give you breaks at all. No. So my first breakdown was 3 months in class 11th. I felt very bad, to be very honest. I had no social life. I'm a very exuberant and extrovert kind of a person, and each day in those first 3 months of my tuition, I really missed my social circle, and I missed being among people who who talk to people. They don't look at people and nag them just because they score less marks. Next, the coaching environment is very unhealthy, to be very honest. There's a difference between healthy competition and unhealthy competition. A healthy competition, even if you score less, you know what, they will push you to grow. In an unhealthy competition, first, the environment is very unfriendly. It's very demotivating in itself. And the teachers themselves, they are not very motivating. They just look at the top 5 or the top 10 of the batch. They remember their name only, and जो बाकी 90 बच्चे हैं उस बैच में, they don't even care about them, right? I was just fed
Yeah.
up of this, and the study hours were very long. Just imagine a kid studying for like 9 or 8 hours every day, and just exclude and here I'm not including the 6 hours of tuition and 3 hours of travel time. It's very exhausting. And slowly, because I was not topping here, I was pretty average here. Like if there was a batch of 90, my rank was usually in 30s. Although it's okay, it's a pretty above average, but nobody, my teachers never respected me. The students around me they just nagged me. There was so much disrespect, just because you are just judged continuously by your teachers, by your students, by the fellow students, because of how much marks you score. The shittiest thing about this whole system is like you are just judged upon one criteria, which is just not done. And the same thing happened here too. So I decided to go to a counselor, and yeah, that's when I decided to change my stream. And this major thing to just leave the stream was when I 3 months after 11th. But although the result was came that I have to join arts and non-medical can also be fine for me, but my parents were like, now you have started non-medical, so just continue this. And trust me, halfway down 11th, my confidence just broke. Seriously, I couldn't even look into the eyes of my teacher, because and I couldn't even ask any doubts, basic doubts, like raising your hand in the middle of a class. I just couldn't even ask that, because that confidence in me was just shattered. I used to study, but that confidence in me ended. And in an 11th, after just when my 12th was about to start, I decided that no, I think I should be an engineer, because nobody in my surrounding wants to be an architecture, sorry, an architect. And yeah, so maybe I just succumbed to the peer pressure, to the environmental stress, and I decided that okay, I'll do engineering. And then after, so in 12th I started pretty well, my confidence also started increasing. But it was always that I never liked machines, and this thought kept on clicking me. And when my JEE result was out, I just I just felt that my father looked me in the eye and he said, do you really want to take engineering? And oh my god, Ashutosh, although a lot of people had asked me this before and I said yes, but when my father asked me, I just couldn't say yes. He just saw it in my eye that it's just not meant for me. He always knew it. And yes, it was at that very night, me and my father, we just decided that tomorrow we'll go to a counselor. And this all happened after 12th, right? And then the next day we went to a counselor where we had proper tests done. And then it came out that I'm meant for journalism, which was very shocking at first, because I was just reminded of 2 years of my studies in non-medical, the amount of effort I have put in. I lost all my physical and mental glow because of that, and now I have to take journalism. And I didn't even know journalism at that time. Do you like it was so weird. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's how I skipped. I changed my field.
Wow, that's a hell of a turn in life. And I
Uh,
feel like these type of decision points come in life and they either make up your life or they ruin your life altogether. Next question will be, is journalism really your passion? Are you now really happy with what you are doing?
so there are two questions. Yeah. Am I happy with what I'm doing? Yes, I am very happy. Every night I feel pretty satisfied with whatever I'm doing in my day. They are the days are less stressful, and at times, of course, there's stress. But whatever it is, everything is under control. I can understand whatever is happening in my lectures, and I'm respected and appreciated for who I am. And that appreciation does not depend on how much marks I score. So I just love the environment in which I am. And to be very honest, Ashutosh, I have also spoken to the students of mass communication in different colleges, in different parts of our country, and even in different countries. And it's a very warm and healthy environment, I must say. Here people actually, appreciate you for how different you are. People don't want to be like someone here. People just want to find themselves. People just want to do what they are good at, and they just want to be excellent at it. I just love this thing. And next, is journalism my passion? To be very honest, Ashutosh, I'm still exploring what more I can do. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's nice. I feel like you are doing the right thing. And for those of us who don't know, what exactly is the scope in this field of work? And what do they teach you in the classes? And what are the processes they put you through?
Oh, okay, so mass communication is just like any other degree. Basically, this is a degree in arts, and this field, okay, the scope of this field. Ashutosh, we recently had recession due to coronavirus, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So, do you know what just kept on going amid this whole time when people were losing their jobs?
Yeah, absolutely. Journalism and the news
Yeah.
channels. Oh my-
Yes. So the very fact is, media is booming, especially mass media. That too in India, it's booming right now. We should realize it that first of all, you see journalists all over the place, be it be it on the TV. You hear journalism students, mass communication students in the radio houses, and then you have print media. But now you should also see that we have a whole new form of media, that is social media, our digital media. And as so many users are coming on social media, it has become such a big place for brands to market, for people to launch their identities. Personal branding is just because people had mass media, just because people have social media, and that that personal brand of that very person is spreading with only because they know how to use the pretty this subtle form of mass media. So mass media, the scope is very big. We are doing a podcast, right? And
Yeah.
a podcast is something new. So don't you think podcast in India is also booming? So this is also very good career. It's an excellent career option. And what processes they put us through, it's like normal classes. Then there are a lot of internships we have to go through. So for us, more than marks, practical knowledge is very important, and practical knowledge is something that is being thoroughly emphasized in our course. So it's a 3-year course of bachelor's, where first year, we have some theory part, and in the next 2 years, second year and third year, we just have continuous practical subjects. There's no theory, not at all. So you should just know the thing. That's it. Yeah.
Well, those are some of the great insights into mass media and journalism. And looking at the present situation, how has this lockdown changed things for you? And have you been able to benefit from it at all?
Oh my God, lockdown. So, Ashutosh, lockdown has so these 6 or 7 months of lockdown have been very enriching for me, to be very honest. It was not just about the good things; was also about the bad things. So now, starting with the good things, when I came back from Egypt, I had a cultural shock, right? I worked in Egypt for 2 months. So and I kind of adopted to that culture. When I came back to India, so I got that cultural shock because I was adopted to some other culture, and I came back to my original culture. So that change, you know, that caused a little instability in my mind, to be very honest. And I just didn't wanted to go outside. And thank God I had this lockdown. So yeah, I was in home for 6 months. I feel very happy for that. Next thing, yes, it allowed me to reflect on a lot of actions I did. First on professional level, yes, there were certain things I wanted to improve upon, and lockdown gave me that time too. And the second one is personal level, how you are as a human being. There are certain incidents in our life, that tell us what values we have. Are we compassionate? Are we courageous? Are we a coward? Are we greedy? So these things, some incidents took place that gave me a very good self reflection of my own life. But definitely, my life is just a mirror. It's a tarnished mirror, and I keep on polishing it. And this is what lockdown has helped me to.
Well, all I'm feeling is that I'm getting the A graders and people who enjoy this lockdown time on the podcast. I need to get some real change in my selection process at that time. Yeah. So next question will be, you have joined many organizations, right? What was the motive behind that, and what are these organizations that are you working for?
Okay, so basically, yeah. So my motive to join organizations has been pretty simple. Okay, so I joined four organizations to start with. One is ISEC, second is Fionca, third is Sakonsa. I work here right now, and I also work at Newshound India Foundation. So my first organization was ISEC. So what's ISEC? ISEC is the world's largest youth-run organization. It was formed in Poland in just after World War II ended, right? And it is in 100 plus countries. So the first time I heard about this organization, I was like, wow. And then the people who came to my college, to tell us about this organization, they themselves were from so many colleges. And I just love meeting people because, during JE preparation, I was in my house for 10 months. And after that, we had our, uh, after 12th break, right? So for after 10 months, I came across so many people. I was so enthusiastic. And along with them, there were people from other countries too. So I'm a people oriented person. So just I went on talking to them, and then I joined this organization. Yeah. So then I started my role here in sales and marketing. It was a very hard experience, I swear to God. That's why right now I'm inactive in this organization, to be very honest. Because you just have to call people and tell them over the various things, and at times the pitch works, at times it doesn't. Usually it's the other way around, it doesn't work. I called 98 people in my first term, and only 3 people accepted the pitch. Can you imagine?
Oh my
It
God.
was very hard. Then I was at Fionca, which was in Egypt, and there I played the role of for brand marketing. I created a brand video for that brand, and I set up interviews for some famous celebrities there. It was the best job, till date. It was the best. I had my own desk, I had my own table, I had these lovely colleagues of different nationalities, and it was just so amazing. You are your own boss, and that's it. And all that you say will be accepted. It was superb. Then right now I'm working at Newshound India Foundation. Basically, I work here as a student journalist, and here too I create interviews for women who are damn successful, and they had a really hard life story. Because I believe stories are something that always inspire people. That's why we are having this podcast too. And I also work there like as a proper reporter too, and my segments will be out pretty soon. And last, I work at Sakonsa presently. And I also have this fellow marketer named Ashutosh. You know Ashutosh?
No, I don't think. Who is he?
I don't know,
I'm
man.
curious.
This is this talented guy I worked with. So yeah, I worked there as a marketing intern, and it's been pretty great at Sakonsa. How the real world works, how to really apply things, and there are so many people who are just really brilliant. I get to learn from them. So yeah, that's the only thing. I feel very happy, and I got Sakonsa and News Out India during this lockdown. This actually helped me in my professional life, really.
That's so good to listen to this journey of yours. And can you tell us more about the NGO you are working with? What do they do, and how are they making an impact?
So basically, first is Sakonsa. So Sakonsa is working on the Sustainable Development Goals that are provided by the United Nations. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and Sakonsa is right now we're particularly working at SDG 2, that is no hunger. And it is having these campaigns, hashtag feed the needy, and there's this continuous flow of posts, videos, images, which is pretty cool. And I think this is very important. Consistency in your content is very important for an impact to happen. And yes, this makes Sakonsa as an NGO very very active, very youthful, I must say, and pretty much present in the current day trends. Yeah, it's very easy to adopt to. And then there's News India Foundation. It's another amazing journalism NGO, which is it's one of its kind. It's the first of its kind, rather. It has student journalists, basically our students who are just studying journalism. But the very fact is that we pick on questions on democracy, that how are things, should it be like this or shouldn't it be like this. We speak so that there is dissent, and because we have to have dissent, we have to have a discourse of what's right, what's wrong, because this is how our democracy is driven. And because we also know that broadcast media and print media, some of them are they are just the puppets of some political houses. So it's very important, both these NGOs are very important for a for a peaceful, happy and harmonious world. Yes, Ashutosh.
Amazing, amazing. Ankita, you earlier mentioned about your trip to Egypt, right? What was it all
Yeah.
about? And tell me how Egypt is like.
Oh, okay. So I spoke about ISEC. So basically, ISEC's main work is to send students from different countries to different countries, student exchange programs for so that one student has a cultural impact. He gets to know how the culture of different places, and because what I believe, every country is just a bunch of people, right? And every person is very different. you know One character does not generalize the public of a particular nation, and every person is different and beautiful in its own way. And I very much wanted to go out somewhere, so I just decided that ISEC is sending students to Egypt, and I also want to be one of them. So I went to Egypt, right? And this is where the whole beautiful journey started of me acting as a global volunteer. So it's under ISEC and MUN, so and United Nations. And Egypt is a very beautiful place. I swear, women there are so beautiful, men there are so well groomed, and the people are actually very warm. There was a communication barrier also in Egypt, because in Egypt people speak Arabic and they don't really know English, and we only knew English, Hindi, and I only know English, Hindi, and French. So yeah, so it was Google Translator that helped me throughout my trip in Egypt. But I still remember, Ashutosh, they are very sweet people, they're very decent. I was never once eve teased in Egypt, which is just so weird. And this is so happy too. It happens in India, but in Egypt it didn't happen. And next thing I know, um any time I was like, oh my god, which place to go, what place is this, can anyone tell me? That person literally used to take me to that place, via walking, even if that is out of his or her way. They are very sweet people, and I really loved Egypt. The spirit of Egyptians is very high and very youthful. I just loved it.
Oh wow. I mean, I don't have words. It should have been a hell of an experience.
Yeah, it
So you
was.
so you took interviews of some famous personalities. That's awesome. Who were they and how was that unique experience? Were you nervous? Like I am right now. Oh my god.
So basically, yes, I've taken interviews of pretty famous, strong, independent women, and I just love the very notion, because we are in the world of women empower. We are at the time where women are being empowered, and I really believe the stories are very impactful. And putting such points, the devil is in the detail. Going in the details and really picking the right question will not only you know allow the listener or the viewer to comprehend that woman's life, but it will also inspire the listener in one way or the other. So yeah, that's what I did. I really, because I had never done interviews before, to be very honest. I didn't know anything about interviews until I joined Fionca, where I properly researched. I still remember watching, I don't know, 100 plus interview videos of of Hollywood, of Bollywood, and anything in Arabic that had English subtitles, to understand what kind of people they are. And back in India too, I made interviews. So yes, learning about those things was quite a task, but I did it. It was really fulfilling. I realized I learned something. It was a very productive thing. And then coming to the women, one was Azaf Fahmi. Oh my God, Ashutosh. She is the richest woman of Egypt, and she is a self-made entrepreneur. Her basic work is she makes jewelry. She's a jewelry designer, and she has worked for and in Hollywood too. Her stuff sells, and she has worked for Beyonce, Rihanna, and all these big celebrities. Penning out an interview for her was, oh my God, I couldn't believe that. Like, she was the first person I penned an interview for. Then it was Amina Khalil. So Amina Khalil is basically Deepika Padukone of Egypt. She's the biggest and the most famous actress out there. And I really loved her story. Her parents were pretty liberal. She had gone to places, and it was acting. She's an actor, so a lot of times we just think that acting is just, oh my God, coming to stage, rehearsing your lines. But going through her past interviews, I realized her passion for this was just so much more than coming on stage. She had all these books. She has been to a lot of universities just to study acting thoroughly. I mean, that's when you just get to know how passionate a person is. And Aza Fahmy too, she faced a lot of stereotypes, discrimination, and all that harassment, because jewelry designing in Egypt is a thing for men. And when she started jewelry designing at that time, women empowerment was not a thing. Women equality was not a thing. And then I had Osma Farida. So she's an Olympic swimmer. Again, her story was very nice. And then back in India, I interviewed Rashi Thakran. So she's a mental health advocate. She lost her brother, and ever since then, she lost her brother to depression, and her brother died because of suicide. And her story really touched me. And the very fact is, her spirit was invincible. Rashi's spirit. She created the only suicide helpline in India. Because of this, she joined change.org, and then she had this whole petition campaign, and it was a big success. And then I had Ritu Singla ma'am. I know Ritu ma'am personally since ages, and her story has really was very thrilling. She lost her husband because her husband had a lot of debt. I think 40 crores. And when he left, there was nothing. She was a lawyer by profession, and and at that time she was nothing but a housewife and a mother of two girls. And at that time, when her husband died, she didn't like leave everything up to her in-laws, and she wasn't like, oh my God, मैं बेचारी हूँ वगैरह. She had the spirit of a lion. She had the spirit of a lioness, man. And what she did, she was like, okay, I'll study the whole thing, I'll analyze everything. She studied. She's a lawyer by profession, and she went to industries, which is basically engineering. And then she studied the whole thing practically. She didn't go to any college, and after that, the country did thousand crore plus profit. And she was able to return the debt. And now in 2011, she was awarded as the Women Entrepreneur of the Year. So all these fabulous women I have interviewed and created interview for, and I'm doing it further too. So some episodes are are about to come up.
Wow, those are some amazing, amazing stories. What else did you get to experience in a whole different country? Since like you were on a volunteer program, they must have taken you for some field work. How was that experience on the field?
Oh no, I didn't go on fields because my basically volunteer was when I was working at Fionca. So Fionca is basically for SDG 3, that is gender equality. So my field work was creating a brand video for the company and the interviews to empower the women, basically, because Fionca is an all women hiring and servicing cab brand. Basically, it's the Uber for women, where women drive and only women passengers are allowed, right? So it was beautiful. But Egypt, uh, what uh, I what I learned when I reached there, was the importance of my country. But when I was back in India, even when I was in Delhi, I landed at Delhi. I felt like home there. I didn't feel like, and of course, I feel like every state was my home when I came back to home. When I was in Egypt, I realized the importance of food, money, the importance of resources in general, and then I realized how grateful I am because my friends, some of my friends were working as volunteers in schools. Those schools were for refugees from Jordan and Sudan. um and it was so shocking. I just went to that school one day, and I just came to know that there was a 11-year-old girl who was 6 months pregnant. And when I had a word with the principal that why shouldn't there be sex education in such schools, because it was not this that one girl, that one 11-year-old girl that was pregnant. There were pregnant girls, who were below 15. A lot of them, they were not in the school right now, and a lot of them were pregnant, and this was just so wrong. Women being raped, and they don't even have the knowledge whether it's right or wrong. So yes, a lot of things happen, and the center of this was be grateful to your life, be grateful that you have a wonderful culture, and just be proud of your own country.
Well, that was something very disheartening to hear
Yes.
that. But moving on, what is your future course from here on? What do you see yourself doing in coming years?
Oh my God, Ashutosh, what is this question? Look, can I just, I'll tell you a little story of mine. Um, when in eighth, I decided to take up architecture as my course because I always was very studious and I was always on top. And this was a very hideous attitude, I must say. This is very stubborn and arrogant part of mine. So I decided that which is the best architecture school of the world? Bartlett University, United Kingdom, or Glasgow University. I will go there, and then I will go there. Then every day, I used to see pictures of different architectural designs. Then I was a big fan of Le Corbusier, who the person who made Chandigarh, and then Zaha Hadid. She was a very big architect, female architect, one of the best architects of the world. Imagining I will be something like this, and working like I'll be something like this. And I was like, after 12th, I will go to the UK. Then I will study architecture. Then for 5 years, I will work in a very big architectural firm. And after that, I will open my own architecture company. And 10 years after that, my company will be the biggest company of planet Earth. Uh, so yes, this was my plan at the age of till I'm 40. Ashutosh, how is this plan? कितना अच्छा लगता है ना सुनने में ये.
I love it. I hope you are able to accomplish this dream of yours.
Oh my God, but Ashutosh, now after J, I just realized, sweetheart, slow down. You really need to think when you do such things. Because Ashutosh, it was just heartbreaking, when I really had to switch from non-medical to arts, because I never knew this field. I never respected and never decided to open that side of mine, which was towards arts. And I just don't want to make any mistake now. I really want to dig deep. I don't want to overanalyze things too, but I should really know about everything I can do and then pick the best from it. And you know what, Ashutosh? I think plans are never supposed to be told. Their actions are always supposed to be done. Words have no value for me. Actions have. So that's my answer to you about my future.
There is it, guys. The words of wisdom from Ankita herself. And let's end this episode on a positive note. Do you have any message for our listeners? Go ahead.
Oh, message. Just be honest to yourself. Yeah, I really believe just be honest to yourself. They say honesty is the best policy before applying it for others, towards others, for the external world. Apply it to yourself. Are you honest in your everyday efforts? Not just to be a very good professional. but to be a good human being? Are you being honest to yourself whenever whenever a difficult situation arises? I hope you're not hiding something that should actually be seen. And accept things, and don't live in your past, because a lot of times too this happens with me, and I have to remind myself that no, I should not live in the past. I A lot of times I thought, after taking journalism, that why didn't I take arts in 11th? Why didn't my parents in 11th I said I want to take arts. Why didn't my parents didn't allow me to take it? And don't have that grudge. Those 2 years gave me two very beautiful lessons of my life, and I would love to keep it. So don't have grudges, just be honest, accept things, move on, and yeah, just be happy and grateful for wherever you are and whatever you have, and be positive, be productive, be innovative. That's it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that is it, guys. Again, an amazing episode with an amazing person, new lessons learned every day. I also happen to have a message for you all. It is go on and just do it. Well, this was the episode. I'm a student journalist with Ankita Sharma. And don't worry, I'll be back again next week with a new guest. Till then, check out my Instagram and LinkedIn. Do give a follow and share this podcast with your friends and family. Signing out, Ashutosh.